Welcome to Dimensional Shift, where we explore and actively deprogram ourselves, seek the truth of reality through expanding our perceptions, and focus on full remembrance of our true selves. As we begin to connect to our true selves, we will also see the truth of this illusory reality and the way it controls us through our manipulated perceptions. As soon as we fully remember our true selves, we will also see the enemy for what it is and how to rebalance the system by freeing ourselves and assisting others to do the same, creating a domino effect into the evolution of human consciousness. When I was about 12, I figured out the speed of light in a vacuum for a light year, and it came out to be about 5 trillion, I think it was miles. So for 1 year, for 1 light year, a beam of light could travel 5 trillion miles and reach its destination if it was within that 5 trillion miles. And if you think about that, that means that all of the stars and celestial bodies we look at, we're actually looking into the past. Light actually has to travel through time and through space, which means that time travel, in the sense that we think of it now, is virtually impossible. This doesn't even take into account the fact that mass or matter, when reaching the speed of light, expands infinitely. So it's kind of this perfect storm. If we can reach the speed of light, we will be destroyed in the process. It's sort of like with black holes, which, if you think about it, is kind of the opposite in a way. And if we were to pass the event horizon, we would be destroyed in the opposite sense, where we would be crushed. Because of this, light speed is rather limited. We will never be able to have those, hyperdrives, or we can jump through space and arrive at our destination without having any time passed. The actual science behind it is much more complex. And I was told this last year, that we will never have the science for that type of travel until we can prove to all the galactics that imperialism is dead and we no longer wish to conquer other places. But we have access to a much more limitless type of travel or communication. The speed of consciousness is much more versatile than the speed of light. The speed of light requires matter or mass to travel through time and space. The speed of consciousness, however, requires only thought and intention. Let's look at an example. If you want to get a message to someone, say on text message or Facebook Messenger or something like that, you're using the speed of light because you're using electricity. While it seems instantaneous, you have to go through the process of typing it up, sending it, waiting for them to receive the message, and replying. If you were, however, to send a telepathic message, which is the speed of consciousness, you would not have to wait for all of those contingencies. You would simply send a message through your mind, they would receive it instantaneously, and be able to, assuming they were willing, be able to send a message back. A benefit that I've noticed myself when sending telepathic messages is that there is very, very little room for interpretation. There's very little room for error. And what you're intending to say is often received as what you're intending to say. And the person receiving it is often able to reply with very little interpretation. And once you grasp the concept of telepathic communication and communicating with your guides, you're able to send messages across the universe to other beings that transcend language barriers, and you're able to communicate with people and beings that you may not have been able to communicate with before. This opens up a whole new avenue for spiritual growth, connecting with the galactics, and channeling information that needs to be channeled into this world as part of our mission or your mission. We can also look at this through the lenses of 2 quantum theories. The first being, again, quantum entanglement. The information that one particle has is instantaneously transferred to the other particle, And through this process, we have that speed of consciousness that allows us to transfer information very quickly across time, dimension, space, and realities. The other theory is related, but somewhat different. The theory is the holographic universe, which means the micro to the macro, or the macro to the micro. So the theory goes that we have the enlarged universe as a big whole, and that each time you fold the universe in half, whatever that means, each half of the universe holds the same data as the whole universe. And this goes down to the micro infinitum. So my cells hold the data for the entire universe. Your mitochondria holds the data for the entire universe. In this way, it's self-perpetuating in that the data is never lost. If you want more information on the holographic universe, a great book you can read is called The Path of Energy, Awaken Your Personal Power and Expand Your Consciousness. It's by Dr. Cynthia Andrews, ND. It's one of the first books I read on energy and energy work and meditation, and it really helped shape and morph how I viewed energy on a quantum level. If you're interested, that title will be listed in the episode description so you can find it and read it, which I highly recommend. I know I've talked about telepathy a lot, and that's the most tangible example I can give you, but there's other ways to use the speed of consciousness without having clairaudience. Anytime you use your clairvoyance, you're using the speed of consciousness. Anytime you use your empathy, you're using the speed of consciousness. Anytime you use a psychic skill that relies on your extrasensory perception, you're using the speed of consciousness. Anytime you don't have to have hard data in front of you in a mass matter type of way, you're using the speed of consciousness. And at the same time, anytime you astral travel or dream, you are also using the speed of consciousness because you're using perception that is outside of your normal everyday 5 senses of your body. And in this way, we are able to time travel or to teleport, whatever you want to think of as traveling across the universe, traveling across time. And we're able to do that in a way that is at the speed of consciousness and has no implications on the physical realm. It's no secret that psychic senses have allowed us to transcend the physical realm and the limitations of having a human body. This is something that the sages have passed down for millennia. These type of practices have been villainized, preventing us from practicing them in a way that is meaningful and gives us a meaningful connection to the universe and a meaningful connection to ourselves and to each other. Reclaiming that in the past, say 5 years with the Starseed Awakening has been extremely empowering for all of us. Being able to practice our psychic abilities without persecution has been extremely freeing, and being able to talk about aliens and starseeds has also been freeing. We've been able to find our tribes or groups or whatever you want to call them and connect with people in a way that means something to us and means something to them. So take some time this week to practice your psychic skills. Work on your telepathy, work on your clairvoyance, spend some time meditating and working on your astral travel as well. All of those things will help you connect to the galactics and learn how to time and space travel. All of those things tap into the speed of consciousness, which is our ultimate goal because that's the next stage in our evolution. If you found this episode helpful or insightful, please share it with a friend and leave a review or comment. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. I host twice weekly open discussions on the podcast topic on our Discord server. If you'd like to join, head to dimensionalshifter.com/Discord. If you're on Reddit, come join the subreddit r/dimensionalshifters or send me a DM. My username is dimensionalshifter. Keep deprogramming, keep connecting. Keep listening to your intuition. This is it. This is what we've been searching for our whole lives. Connection to our true selves.